What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Sports here, and I'm back with another video. Trying to make these videos as often as possible because school's getting tough, lots of projects done in a couple weeks, so there'll be more uploads, a lot more uploads during the summer. This video, I'm going to be talking about something that just happened in the hockey world, and I've got my laptop and my phone set up here. So the Los Angeles Kings, of course, we know that they just missed the playoffs, I believe, for like the second time in the past 3 years. And there was announced a couple days ago that there was going to be a bit of a shakeup in the head office. So they fired the GM, Dean Lombardi, and head coach, Daryl Sutter. This is something that I could see coming, but like for some reason I felt like Daryl Sutter was going to be given a second chance, but it's tough. And now even Damian Cox, I pulled it up on my phone here so that way I didn't forget, so we can touch on both of these things, is he thinks that the Kings should start rebuilding, which I mean is not really necessarily a bad thing. But he was talking about Drew Doughty, he was talking about Kopitar, Brown, and Gaborik. So it's a bit of a messy situation because we all know as hockey fans, if you look into like cap and you go on Cap Friendly, and you just like to look at team rosters. You look at the Kings and they have a lot of long contracts, a lot of high cap hits, and it's not really a great situation to be in. Here's the thing that I think about. When I think about the Kings, it's they have a couple opportunities, especially with this expansion draft coming up. They may be working a little bit of a deal to get rid of a contract and giving away a pick, which sucks obviously for a rebuild. But realistically, you get rid of a cap hit of somebody like Gaborik, you're probably breathing a little bit easier. Dustin Brown was a name that was thrown around a lot right when they announced Vegas. They're like, oh, they finally have a captain. But I just said Gaborik, but I don't even know if you could do that. So this is what I think. First of all, I don't think they're going to trade Drew Doughty. I really don't think that that's going to happen, and I also don't think they're going to trade Kopitar. If they trade both of those, then it's both of those guys, then we're talking a full-on rebuild, and they're like burning their city to the ground because their fan base is going to go nuts if they trade Doughty and Kopitar. Those guys, Doughty you have to sign in a couple years, and I believe Kopitar is locked up, like I said, for a pretty long time. So, Doughty, I feel like he would stay in LA. So, you've got a couple years to, first of all, convince Kopitar that, like, listen, it's going to get better. And you have a couple years to get rid of those contracts to make sure you lock up Doughty and start building around those guys. And, like, I know that Kopitar might, it's really weird to say this, but maybe in a couple years Kopitar's production isn't as good. You're hoping he has a better year than he had this year. But then you start to wonder, maybe while he's at his highest value, you dangle him a little bit. I'm not saying trade him, but you dangle him a little bit. And maybe you even dangle Doughty a little bit. But I don't think they're going to trade those guys. And with this news, obviously, there's going to have to be some change because it's already started with their head office. So I just don't know what else they could really do besides getting rid of those crappy contracts. And I don't think Kopitar and Doughty currently are crappy contracts. They're guys that you could build around. So realistically, you just have to get rid of those bad contracts. And it sounds easy me saying it, but it's not NHL 17. You have to like really try hard because in the real world, those trades ain't going to work. So they have to really think of something to get rid of those contracts. So, again, I was reading Damian Cox's Twitter, and he's already mentioning the Leafs. Not going to happen. And, again, nothing against Damian Cox. Like, I'm a huge fan of him. I know some people may have different opinions, but I've been watching him since I was pretty young. So, I mean, I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying, the Leafs, I don't think that's going to happen. He mentioned Winnipeg and dangling Trouba. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. They seem to be happy with Trouba again there. I'm not sure. Winnipeg's in a pretty weird spot as well. Now, he mentioned the Oilers, and that one kind of sparked my interest a little bit. He mentioned the Oilers with Doughty, and like, I mean, this happened like at the time I'm recording this video, it literally just happened like an hour ago. So to be throwing out trade rumors like that is obviously way too early. And I mean, I don't think anybody's really, latching onto these stories and saying, oh, the Oilers are cooking something up. Like, they're heading into the playoffs. In the summer, it might get a little interesting. You never know. If the Oilers wanted to be legit, they would throw everything for Drew Doughty. But they're finally getting good. So do you really go, hey, look it, we'll give you all of this and sacrifice maybe making the playoffs, which that probably won't happen, just so we can get Drew Doughty? And I think the Oilers would have to include quite a lot. Like right now, the Kings are saying, yeah, give me everything you got, because we ain't trading them. So these trade rumors, they're fun to read, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I know this video is kind of out of place, but this, like I said, this just happened. I'm just going off the top right now because I'm reading tweets, I'm reading Sportsnet articles. I don't know what to say about this, because this is just the first team that's really started to make some changes. This might not be the only team that makes changes, even before the playoffs are done. A couple teams that come to mind is there's a weird situation in Buffalo, and there's a weird situation in Winnipeg. If you want videos on that, I'm pretty sure a lot of hockey YouTubers probably have touched on that, on some tweets and stuff like that. I've talked about it. If you want to see some videos on Buffalo and Winnipeg, let me know. If you want to see videos on any team, let me know. I just wanted to have a quick discussion with you guys. Let me know what you guys think, as my laptop turns off. What do you guys think the Oilers, the Kings, are going to do next? I mean, the front office shakeup, obviously that's something that's good for them. It's the first step. Or, in my opinion, do you agree with me? Do you think that maybe they should just keep Kopitar or Doughty, dangle them a little bit? If you get a crazy trade offer, then do it. But do you think that maybe they could keep building around those guys, try to get rid of those contracts and see what you can do? It is possible. I mean, the Kings are not an awful team. You got to remember, they got Quick in net. And, I mean, he hasn't showed any signs of not being good. He just got hurt at the beginning of the season. That hurt them a lot. They might actually be in a playoff spot had Quick not been hurt. What did they miss the playoffs by? 8 points? It sounds like a lot. But when one of the best goalies in the world is out to start the season, it's not a very good thing. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I'm Andrew Piluk Sports. Peace.